Hello everyone, Stars J here, and it's time to tip the scales of another game of Lobotomy Corporation. So, yeah, I'm going to be working with the, I've got myself some new items to work with. I've also been told by a reliable source, the actual manual itself, and by Biohazard063 who pointing out the manual told me this, would tell you this. But, there's a, thing where if you're wearing higher level gear, take less damage from higher level entities. I thought it was if you had higher level resistance. I thought resistances mattered more than than the armor itself. But no, it turns out everyone in the central command team should at least be wearing HE class gear. Alright, I've also added Lucas Kendrell to the team. Casey Burns, however, is going to be working on her prudence. Is going to be working on her. It's going to be working on some of her skills because these two really need some training. Yeah. Plus I need 3 employees in each room. I mean, come on. It's only logical. But we'll see what happens. Hopefully it is the port. Yes, it is the portrait. Okay, so my plan of attack for this one, besides putting everyone in the let's see. Lily's supposed to go over here. Ralph goes down here. I'm gonna bring all the medics. Yep, you're all medics. Yep, bring all the medics down, including Camilla. Camilla's also a medic. So the idea is I have Ralph use this thing. And let's see if my plan works when dealing with the censored guy. Oh, there's also Forsaken Murderer. Yeah, Forsaken Murderer. What's if Garner deal with it? Probably gonna instantly kill him, isn't it? Yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen Biohazard063 deal with a Forsaken Murderer, and apparently this guy escapes. It's easy to suppress him. He's like, you know, just level 1. So let's see. Who's our victim? Who's been mirrored? So who's got the mirror mark? It's Shenrong! She's also pretty damn sane. So, the idea is that Ralph has got the mirror. Okay, so Chen's gonna be down here. I'm gonna move Chen down here. In fact, Ariadne, actually, you're still level 4. I'm gonna leave you back up here. I'm not trusting you with, just realising, I'm not trusting Ariadne with anything involving the... Yeah, with the... Yeah, I'm just not trusting you. Alright, you should be able to take some black damage as well. Yeah, you're good. Okay, so fingers crossed, this works. I can do sacrifice. No, I'm not going to do that. That's responsible to instinct or insight. So let's have Ralph go in. So what I'm assuming is going to happen is that Ralph is going to lose 60% of his sanity straight away, but then over here, Chen is going to be losing her sanity. He's going to be losing her hit points. He's going to be losing both hit points and sanity. We'll see. Hopeless! God damn it! So let's see what happens. Ralph lost his sanity. And Chen's taking all the damage. Yeah, Chen's taking the damage. Which now means what I can do, throw a shield on her. So, yeah, that's what the bullets do. They can add shields and stuff. So Ralph takes no damage from the Ralph takes no damage whatsoever from this guy. Meanwhile, Chen takes all the damage, and also gets healed up in the med bay to boot. SSDD, we just follow orders. Which means, woohoo! Ralph doesn't go insane! Hooray! And we still got this giant mushroom to work with, which I might send, I could send Ralph in as well. Although, is Chen vulnerable to white damage? No, she's also cool with it. So let's send Ralph in. I mean, I gotta vary the approach though. So let's see. Basic information. I'm 1 short. Just one short of the of whatever. Before I can view its Quiplov counter. But yeah. Chen takes all the damage. I mean, that's fine. No, it's black damage as well. Use the shield on her as well. But yeah. That's amazing. Of course, I gotta diversify who goes in here a lot, but as I've said, it's amazing. And yeah, the mirror. Yeah, so the mirror may just be my salvation. It may just be my salvation against the oh god, what the fuck? Well, as long as the work isn't bad, it should be good. Which means I can actually send the medical team back. Hopefully. Camilla, though, you're not you're a medic, but not the medic, but you are a medic, which is important to note. But there you have it. Oh, and the Forsaken Murderer stuff happened here. Garno. Go speak to him again. Yeah, as you can see, he doesn't really like anything else. Actually, no, in that case, Garner, do some attachment work. See what happens. See if he breaks out or anything. If he does break out, well, he might kill a clerk or two. But Garner should be able to handle it, even though he does red damage. He's like a TEF. He's wearing HE gear. See, look. He's wearing HE gear. He's a TEF. What's a TEF gonna do? So I'll have Ralph constantly use the mirror. Well, not the mirror, that thing. Yep. Doesn't seem to be anything new there. But yeah, that's actually a great combination to have Chen and Ralph wearing with the mirror. He has a portrait of another world. He's breaking out? No, he's not breaking out. As you can see, he really hates repression work. Again, Ralph, use the mirror. Yeah, and then at some point, we ought to get to the story of this thing. Maybe the next meltdown. We'll see, though. We'll see. Casey can now do that. In fact, while Casey is doing that, I can have someone from the information. I could have Lucas doing it, but no, not Ariadne. I was gonna have Ariadne do something, but no, it's gonna be has to be Lucas. Where's Lucas? Lucas Kendrill's also from Pilots Plus. He's a hologram. He looks like a holographic pilot. That's right, repression work. Oh, that's right, Kazakh was going to do this one. Kazakh is also wearing the noise armor. Because, you know, Kazakh over here is going to bring on the noise. That sort of thing. But, you know, that'll be stuff to have in consideration. I'll be ending the day, like I'll be back when the day is ended. Alright, nearing the end of the day. Just going to wait for my trainers, my employees to finish up their training. I have Kazakh doing the usual work here of this thing, the 1.76 megahertz. You know, just doing the Kazakh thing. Meanwhile, Casey is working on her attachment. Lucas Kendrill's working on his prudence. Hopefully, by the end of the day, his prudence will be at level 5. Her temperance will be at level 5, so they can so they can change places, and then they can both work on that one after Kazakh has moved on. Okay, I might as well just read out the stories now. We'll start with the Little Prince here. That's what the giant mushroom's called. It's called giant mushroom among the employees. As the nickname goes, it resembles a sizable mushroom colony of fungi. It continuously spreads spores that are visible with naked eyes into the air. Most of the employees are not fond of this abnormality. No employees generally don't have to care about a giant mushroom spewing mysterious spores while they have dozens of other work in their hands. On top of that, only a few employees volunteered for its observation. You can only record very little information about it. Originally, the company assigned observation work purely according to as a shift system. However, after that incident of magical girls a few years ago, and employees' opinions started playing a role in the assignment of works. Animate spores are created from the abnormality flying through the air. It mainly invades an organism via respiratory system. It is difficult to notice the individual symptoms because an employee inhaled these spores, but nothing but a light dyspnea and a sandy sensation in her throat. Plus, a mask is mandatorily worn when approaching this abnormality. When an employee has a certain amount of spores, tumors start developing on the body, and eventually they become a monster of their original form, hardly noticeable. In this stage, they are hostile towards everything in sight. They must be terminated with extreme prejudice. The damage will be severe if the primary infection does not stop because the spores are highly contagious. Also, it is assumed that the spores have hallucinatory components. An extreme caution is advised when working on this abnormality, since the abnormality has a strong desire to reproduce, and its reproduction process is fatal to employees. Holy shit, I thought the Welchie is long. Counseling session record, employee John. There was a guy, not very talkative. He was that guy who would glance sideways at us, like expecting us to talk to him. There was something peculiar about him. He volunteered to work on Giant Mushroom. We had no idea what part of that disgusting mushroom he did like. It was kind of disturbing he would spend an unusually long time in the mushroom's containment chamber. Who knows what kind of monstrous thing he would take out from that thing. Well, we decided he finally went bonkers when he talked nonsense about how he became a friend with the mushroom. It was a common business though. Lots of things happen here. One employee going insane was not a big deal. We needed him to take some psychiatric tests, but he gave us a condescending look as if he knew something that we don't. A few days later, as we all know, he kicked the bucket. The day he was the one who found out the fungal monster was him. It was me who found out the fungal monster was him. The birthmark on his forehead. If we could have found the birthmark on that thing, we'd not have guessed that it was him. No one actually knew that he had a birthmark except for me. He had no friends, you know. He, after becoming that monster, just wandered around the giant mushroom's containment chamber. We tried to lure him somewhere not crowded because he attacked everything on sight. But he didn't move 10 meters away from it until the moment of his death. That's why I decided to rename the abnormality. Because of the complex reasons like pity for that guy who became a friend with the mushroom and remembers for his tragic death. What, a little prince? A prince? He always said he didn't need a friend, but I knew it was bullshit. He needed a friend. That was the reason why I didn't even know he was being infected, going crazy in hallucinations, not knowing that he is becoming a monster. The mushroom just taking the poor bastard to become its tool of reproduction. The guy whose name was not known? Alex. Human mind is too fragile. It cannot contain everything a person is. Do you know that the mantis shrooms can see hundreds of colours that humans can't? This is a simple example to illustrate my point, that it's detrimental to believe and judge everything relying solely on what you see. I don't have actually many friends. I hope you don't misunderstand. I don't make friends, not can't. We as human beings don't understand each other. A person thinks of him or herself as a completely isolated entity, making complete sympathy impossible. But ironically, an inherent instinct of mob psychology survived in the course of our revolution. Play a risky game of staying inside the line while vainly trying to understand and baiting the others. I am long done with this game. That was the reason why I volunteered for the observation on the giant mushroom. No one wanted to get close to the abnormality. Much because of petty reasons such as how disgusting and alien it looks to their eyes. Actually, I felt somewhat superior when everyone looked surprised at me saying that I would do the work. The mushroom didn't do anything special, but I patiently observed and recorded its activity. The desperate powers of enchanting colour, I thought the abnormality was giving me a reward for my patience. After that, I underwent a special change. I perceived a higher level of reality, hyper-reality. It was a hand that stretched out for me. I took it and was the reward of an invite to such a special place. It was possible only for me. He talked about a lot of things. He welcomed me because I was the only one who could realise his essence. He talked me through mind. I had been imagining, yearning for the moment to have a conversation with mind. To be completed and understood, the feeling of unification. It was exhilarating. I could barely hide my joy. Yeah, well, don't be such a downer. I wanted to get closer to him, I wanted to be a part of him. I'd always been thinking about him and waiting to enter his containment chamber. I wanted to belong to him and understand his world. I could feel my heart as ready like a bud before it's blossoming. I was slowly being tamed. This record is part of what surveillance camera in the abnormality containment chamber caught. Unfortunately, the visual feed was blocked by spores. All that could be extracted was the audio. Considering the extent of this conversation, it is safe to assume the abnormality spore contains hallucinatory agents. Because even after a thorough analysis of the audio, no other voice but the employees could be found. After a few hours, the said employee underwent a severe state of frenzy and was shot to death by another employee. No, I don't have any friends. Like I said before, I am not fond of such a contradictory relationships. But at least I think you can be my friend. Human language is too simple. I cannot illustrate what I would like to call this relationship, but I'll have to settle for friends. Yes, I'm one friend material for you. I accept you. You've changed my life. I've been living my whole life being depressed, not knowing what to do or talking to anyone. All I've been doing is just working, but you took me, who I trashed myself. I felt being understood as I understood something more than everything. You saw through my essence as I saw yours. It is truly a rapturous experience. I want to understand you too. I want to love you, become you. I am born human, live tedious life and might have kept doing so until I die had it not been for you. I am so happy that I met you. Even if this is my curse, I will love this curse as a blessing. I will think about you the day my mind collapses and crumbles. I will close my eyes, think of my only friend in that far universe. Yet the melody makes a slight ventilating noise and goes silent. Even if this is my curse, he's saying the same thing again. The other makes like so it repeats twice. Okay, I'm gonna have Ralph use this again. Because yeah, I need to get the observations up on this thing. Like, how many times have I used it? Not enough. Yep. Alright, use it again, Ralph. Come on. Get the observations up there, Ralph. Yeah, so apparently you can get work, like, you can very easily get work done with this thing if you just use the same person over and over. Is that it? Nope, need one more, I think. Yeah, two more. Yeah, so as long as I keep sending Ralph into this thing, the observation level will be complete. Alright, and one more. Ralph. Done now? Good. Now I can look at it later. Okay, as for the censored thing, I need 222 PE boxes to get this weapon. I want it. I want it so bad. I could probably use it against something. But yeah, that'll be a long, long time. Wanna check? Okay. Ugh. Any recorded attempts about censored will cause severe mental corruption to both speaker and listener. Therefore, any record about the appearance of censored will not be tolerated. Any and all voice and written record containing descriptions of the specific parts deleted, and all work pertaining to this must be given level 5 or above employees. Man, I feel sorry for sending this to a competent employee like you to the containment unit. Do you have any last words before proceeding? Of course, when I say last words, just precautionary. Well, there's no other choice. I have the highest resistance level amongst the recognition decay. I've been empathetic towards everything ever since I was young. I've been told that I lack empathy wasn't normal. When I joined here, my abnormal ability became the key to save everyone. This is something you can never experience anywhere else. I'm telling you this again. Yes, you have the highest resistance level amongst the recognition decay, but only for the human standard. If you suffer from uncontrollable thoughts and start to count down from 10 but have forgotten what 10 even is, or you start to puke or drool uncontrollably, or you believe you're somewhere else and not in the company, or you feel sick, insignificant and think that not breathing is your only hope, then you leave the containment unit immediately. Tell me that one more time, they'll make it 13, Randy. We'll be monitoring you in real time, all the cameras will be turned off, and your voice record will be updated after the work is finished. Needless to say, I'm worried about you. Okay, please repeat everything I've told you. Go inside, don't work, and just observe the task of censored who'll be accompanying me inside. It's there where I will record everything that happens, even if censored is in danger, resist the urge to rescue unless ordered otherwise. Right? Correct. Now I'll count to 10, you'll be disconnected. Good luck and Godspeed to you. I have no regrets. I consider myself very lucky compared to the others because I get to leave my last voice record. Well, I mean last, only precaution, but... Alright, your record will be eternally archived and your fellow employees remember you. 3, 2, 1, end of recording. Randy, that looks like our censored from a long time ago. I forgot, I'm the only one who can see this. Censored seemed to be able to breed. Censored, who was with me because... Who was with me became censored. It became a process of censored. Yes, I'm not going to go beep. My throat hurts. I feel a little sick, but I'm good. Censored just came out from censored, just started to scream like censored. The crow, can you hear that? Reminds me of censored. Censored. Now I get it, that is our censored. That is why censored exists. Man, I'm going to butcher this word. This is the worst than all the other scenes I have seen. I can't move. It seems censored as maybe its next target. It's coming towards me. Put my record in my censored. I hope this record will help everyone. Even after we adopted recognition filters, many managers lost their minds. Half of the reasons were due to censored. Even when we raised the recognition filter to the highest level, the risk of having the employees of other abnormalities be perceived is extremely simple. The manager will still become insane as soon as the abnormality comes into sight. We can't blind the manager just because of one abnormality. We are in a dilemma. The only solution we come up with was a suggestion of an employee. We discover the abnormality of a giant blur. If any system issue deletes the blur from the abnormality, we'll have to sincerely think of how to deal with the manager. Oh dear. And as for this one, an abnormality that screams profanities and insults due to the brain damage caused by excessive rage. There is always a wound on his forehead that never seems to heal. He hates everyone and everything. He wears a straitjacket, but he is as free as anyone, and no amount of chains and restraints are enough to stop him from committing violence. He always has to wear a straitjacket. Some say he was a death row prisoner from a federal prison. The researchers were always cautious while near him. They felt the straitjacket could not contain him. They wanted to study a killer's brain to prove that innate evil existed. It was difficult to determine who was worse, a man who murdered the innocent, or the researchers who wanted to open up the brain to satiate their curiosity. A wide range of medicine and chemicals were injected, some of them used for the sake of humanity's future, while others were used for new medical techniques. They all had the potential of changing the world. They were excited. Although they did not over-express excitement, it was almost palpable. They said they had found a cure, but they only knew what it cured. The prisoner spoke less and less. His aggressiveness was suppressed, but at the same time he lost himself. After an extensive review, he was allowed to take off his straitjacket. I think my head is turning into metal. I sometimes hear metallic creaks in my head. Water. Or Pepsi, whatever. As the days passed by, he started inflicting self-harm. He hit his head on the wall or hard surfaces. He insisted on checking if his head was turning into metal. One day they decided to leave him in the hopes that he would stop once he saw his own blood dripping. However, even with blood pouring down his face, he did not stop till his wound was so deep. The whites of his skull was peeking through. He had to wear a straitjacket again, but he's no longer feared or monitored like before. A researcher died. It would have been difficult to identify him without the ID card since his face caved in. The lack of security meant the door was often left unlocked or unattended. The prisoner everyone believed to be confined started moving around on his knees. I feel my head turning to metal. The grooves in my brain is becoming sleek as metal. He started to repeatedly mutter strange words, and the final procedure was taken in place. Treatment was halted, and his brain was used for research. How do I know? I sedated him myself. He kept muttering nonsense until the end. Ends, begins, ends, begins. It's over. So yeah, Forsaken Murderer. It's a Teth. He's not very good. His stuff is not very good. Not going to use it. Alright, now finally the Portrait of Another World. As time passes, we change. We may become disabled, lose our minds, be consumed by overwhelming violence, or disappear and never be seen again. The first employee to see abnormality will have the image etched on the canvas. This portrait captures a moment. It is a moment we must lose. The employee who sees their own healthy self will unconsciously start to crave. If life can always be like this, if only I can always have a bright smile just like in the portrait. All damage etched in the portrait will be taken by the other employee. You've seen this happen. They'll receive increased damage. So that's why I made Chen a squire. Which I think I'm probably going to do for everyone who gets etched by the portrait. Just make him a squire. The way they take half damage. They take less damage from their armor, and they also take less damage from their stuff. The employee will start feeling strange. The employee will not get hurt by any damage or attacks. However, other employees take all the afflicted pain instead. It was not the self, but the portrait that started becoming increasingly hideous and ugly. The employee eventually stops looking at the portrait and decides to enjoy all the unexpected luck. But miracles don't last forever. When all employees aboard the pain perished, it was the employee's turn to die. So, yeah, once everyone's dead, the portrait stops working. Yeah. And there you have it. That's everyone. I think that day 24 work is complete. Let's go. So, who leveled up? Okay, August Fortitude went up. Henry's Prudence hasn't really gone up, but his SP has. His hit points has gone up. Lily's stats have gone up. Whoa, that's good. That's a good increase. Yeah, that's a very good increase because she worked with a Bird of Judgment. Archimedes went up a little bit. Ariadne went up a bit on her Temperance. Chen went up on her Temperance. Her Justice needs a bit of working on. Prospero's Fortitude went up a bit. Could use a bit more though. Let's see what happened with Garner. His Temperance went. Why does it go down? It's because he used the You Must Be Happy. Camilla's hit points went up a bit. Her sanity went up. Kazakh Plef's Justice went up by 2. I'm still probably going to use them for the Justice training. Yep, Temperance went up. They're going to change places. Holy, whoa! Whoa, Lucas Kendrell. You're in the hundreds there, mate. Let's get to the next day. I'll be right back. I'll refill my drink. I think there's going to be a lot of dialogue up ahead. Whoosh. Let's do this thing. Okay, let's see what we got. Refine the boxes. Assign the components. This music sounds ominous. Accelerate the TT2. Day 25. Here we go. The human mind is a melting pot of feelings. Memory, obsession, wish, agony, happiness, and sadness. Strong emotions also mean strong energy. The combined effort of numerous people brought the Lobotomy Corporation to where it is now. We had to keep on with various experiments. Like we are hiring new employees now. We recruited lots of people for the experiments. There was not even a definite shape at first. And then it slowly assumed a form. And A finally understood while studying the changes that their abilities, where they live, their jobs, and their strengths are actually not important. What we required was a massive amount of energy, which meant we didn't have to pay attention. Negative thoughts are always floating in the back of your head, rotting and twisting your mind so you are left with nothing but self-loathing. Come to think of it, I didn't properly ask your opinion. Do you truly wish to meet A? Yes. Alright. I will tell A your thoughts when he returns. Don't expect him to greet you warmly. A is a person who conceals his mind, perhaps even more than me. Manager, what do Zephyr eyes look to you? You must see them as humans, just like yourself. Smiling, irritated, showing various expressions, more human than myself. But, are you aware? Is AI sophisticated enough to be considered as a human? It's only me. Didn't I tell you from the beginning? I am the one and only superb AI in here. Oh gee, no, I got Archimedes. I got Archimedes. Maybe you should talk to him about it. Seeing the truth is not important around here. Everything you see is distorted. Everything here is constructed for you. Can you understand that? Oh, hey Tipereth, and hey Tipereth! It's Tipereth, whom you already met. What kind of a question is that? Then who do you think it is? That expression never bores me. I will tell you the truth. This is where it gets boring, but your stupid expressions save the day. You think I'm the only one? Every Zephyr you see are like me. What, coffee machines? Thanks to that stupid AI Ethics Improvement Act. And this is where we were born and where we shall return someday. Perhaps when everything is done, we'll rest here, singing a song of our hometown. Squish. Ouch. Ew. I hope your next version will last longer. Well then, Tipereth, I'll send the next one whenever he's ready. Thank you, Angela. Oh, Malkuth. Oh, so this is where everyone's at. Took me long enough to find you. Oh, hey, Malkuth. What's happening, Malkuth? Oh, Nedzak asked me to fetch some documents in Tipereth. Oh, it's not ready yet. Something urgent turned up, and tell Nedzak they should show up next time. Well, Nedzak's seem busy. I'll tell him to visit you some other time then. Ugh, why are you other guys all the same? Nedzak is not busy at all. He just doesn't want to move. Ugh. I love that expression. Oh, but I'm having fun. Ah, you're replacing Tipereth now? The cycle is getting shorter. Does it worry you, Tipereth? Don't worry about me. Just mind your notebook. It'll be torn apart soon by the look of it. Oh, it is. Thanks for the concern. It was a pleasure to meet you, Manager. Dot dot dot. Hi, I'm Tipereth. You can skip the introduction, Tipereth. Now it's time for you to examine the document Nedzak gave us. Alright. So I thought she had something to say to me. What would a broken machine have to say anyways? Tipereth is overloaded. It seemed to have some issues from the beginning. But it got worse. The machine's been replaced often, leaving part of the data and resetting it. But the same error occurs at the same point. Oh, I have to do this one. I have to do this one as well. Oh no. So I thought there'd be a lot of dialogue, so I have to do this one. So I have to make sure no one breaks down. No, wait. Hello! I am busy. I still haven't finished even half of what's written in this notebook. I heard extraction experiments to be conducted. I saw the list of participants, but I was unable to find my name on it. Well, I mean, there's probably tons of reasons behind it, and maybe I'm not good enough for the experiment yet. But may I join the experiment as well? I've learned a lot here. I'm very sure I can help in some way. I won't disappoint you. Hello, Manager. It's sad not having enough talent, isn't it? If someone doesn't look back, what does that mean? Does it not acknowledge you? Does it not care about you at all? No need to analyze your action, as the conclusion was already made. Did you ever scrape the floor, writhing in pain? It sounds very painful. But actually, you feel nothing even when you lose your fingernails. You stare at our lost fingernails, and just before you lose your consciousness. When you feel you are not yourself anymore, then you start to laugh really hard, even though it's not funny at all. And on the ground, someone's shadow looking down and feet were seen. Whose feet were those? When the person finally turned around, everything was over. Did you see the fragments of despair from there? Or were you staring at your fingernails on the floor? That's the exact moment I felt helplessness. Without you, I would never known the feeling. Thank you. Jeez, Malkuth. Now what about you, Manager? Have you ever felt helplessness of not being able to control anything? When uncontrollable things rain down from somewhere that is not my body, at the moment of helplessness of not being able to control yourself, it's an awful feeling. Please tell me, so I can feel rewarded a bit. Elijah was impatient. Oh, that's right, going to A. Let's do an old man voice. Elijah was impatient. Her impatience caused common mistakes. She once went on a long, winding explanation why she didn't experience the experiment, but she didn't remember, just like that time when I found that nickel. And when I went to feed the ducks, whenever she said she is not authorized, I could see strong desire in her eyes. She was obsessed, craving for it. The sound of her footsteps. Right, great. I'm going for the Griswold, aren't I? Jeez. I'm gonna start sounding like the old man of Beauty and the Beast. Well now, these zephyrs are completely useless. No. The sound of her footsteps may make others turn around. Kajita was something that was not accessible with her authority. The only thing she could do was record the change of her subjects. She knew Kajita was not ready for humans. When I realized what was going on, half her teeth were gone and... Kill me! Kill me! Oh, jeez. Oh, man. Ah, man. I gotta go. Man, choices. Man, gotta weigh the options. Ignore! Okay. Core suppression required. Beep, beep, beep. Are you discovering the scars carved here? Manager, there is something I didn't tell you when we first met. The Sephiroths definitely wanted to meet you. They admired you and followed you. But at the same time, they wanted you to be swallowed up in the resentment and curses. So please be careful. To be honest, you don't have to pay much attention to it. All I am saying is you can go back to your normal daily routine. It's no big deal for me to cover empty spots if some Sephiroths go mad. But then you will lose it forever. The seed that can sever the ties. Aside, you feel nothing about this? Try drinking some Enkephala and close your eyes and try again, man. I'm glad you are not as weak as the others, Sephiroths. It is important to keep a clear head in any situation. Gabriel, why are you scratching yourself like that? Seeing as we've met again, you must have completed your tasks, Manager. I'd give you a compliment if I didn't have so much work to do. The information team has a work they must do on specific periods. You must have realized there are some blanks on the abnormality records. Along the tremendous amount of information we gather, there are some that are off limits to the employees for security reasons. The names of the employees are one of those information. All traces of them, what happened to them, their gruesome deaths, their desperate will to live, all of that has been stripped from their records under the pretext of expunging information. I do not know what the criteria are for stripping the records. That is decided by other departments, not us. We only manipulate the information we receive per ordered. Isn't it funny? Sort of. What we do is destroy or manipulate information, but somehow we are still called the information team. Well, you are dealing with information, so it isn't too far-fetched. Whenever I'm introduced to the Sephiroth of the information team, I sometimes feel something bubbling up inside me. Yasar, did you receive the documents to expunge? You will get the employee list soon as well. Don't forget to be reviewed after you finish expunging the documents. Angela, what do you think it means to remember someone's name? Why are you so emotional today? Maybe names are like marks for atypical existences to distinguish themselves from others. Someone might have named you Angela having the same thought. Yasar, if you're too tired, take a break. I knew you would say that. ... Calling employees their names is not recommended here. Oh, I do fine. When employees enter the company, each one receives their own identification number. This is to allow the company to identify the minimum necessary information. We have their numbers in our data storage device. Malkuth did not call employees by their names from the beginning. Maybe she is the most ideal Sephira amongst us all. I'm not saying that it's appropriate for Malkuth to take all the pain as well. None of us do. What kind of bad taste is that, to lock us into the metal body, to make us repeat our days endlessly? I'm talking to you. What's with that blank expression? I heard you might be one of our designers. The only thing I could do here is remember a few names of the forgotten employees and despair endlessly, feeling sick of even a single breath of air. Are you having fun watching your guinea pigs? See, I told you, the inside's been rotting for a long time. Gabriel was more rational than anyone else. He was unmoved, even after listening to what happened to Elijah. Some said he lacked empathy. But nobody knew he was festering in the inside. Maybe it started happening from a long time ago, ever since Carmen the world. He slowly became expressionless. He did not allow himself to even have paltry joys. He also could not stand having a small part of his body being exposed. Ooh, he's into bondage, isn't he? We made a monster that was not supposed to exist in this world. We came too far to go back. Do not let what Elijah did go in vain. Instead of taking time to grieve, everyone knew they needed to utilize the results to the fullest. He tried to remain level-headed, but his attempts became an obsession. He started to wear long-sleeved shirts that also covered his neck. Not much later, he started to scratch himself harshly. We suggested he receive a checkup to see whether he was contaminated or infected, but he refused. Man, that's a tough choice. I was gonna pick one. Enforce. Health checkups were needed for further damage. Persuasion became a compulsion, and compulsion led to use physical force. And then physical force led to the dark side. Sorry, gonna do that one. He was timed for checkup, but resisted so violently it was hard for us to watch him. Eventually, it turned out he was not infected at all. But was that really fortunate? No, it was not. He didn't get any better. He kept scratching himself so badly, even worse. When I saw him last, he was not cognizant to what anyone said, and his body was covered in scratches. Nobody has seen him since then. Alright, another suppression needed. Oh dear. Okay, that is hard, a very common side effect when you first take Enkephalin. It is like a light hallucination. Groovy. It will disappear soon after 2 or 3 times, so don't worry too much. You just gotta chill. For me, employees had to face half-melted cold milk in it. Shook me asking why I let her die. That was not a hallucination. Then what, man? Are you saying the dead employees are coming back to life? Unbelievable things happen here, so maybe it is possible for the dead employees to come visiting as if nothing happened. It's not for me to say, but you don't look so good. Why don't you skip the meeting today, man? No, I can't. We have no management training today. They need me. You're really something. I don't think there's another Sephira who cares about their employees like you do. Right? Look, Tiffany, I was right. I'm a good person. A good Sephira. Hello, employees. Today we are... Are you still playing the good Sephira? We will be performing abnormality management training today. How many times do I tell you? You are only a PC. He's a sad scrap metal putting on a good person act. I want everyone to focus here. The abnormality period today should be handled a little differently from other abnormalities. If you hope that would ease your conscience, that's very selfish. From now on, I'll explain the method I devised. Listen carefully. At least other Sephiras admit they are not perfect. Uh-oh. Quiet! Oh, sorry. Where were we? Hod, I have a question. Yes, what is it? Do you think this training makes any difference against that longbird? It seems they will die, are going to die, and those who live will live. It's better than doing nothing, at least. We can prepare something rather than helplessly wait to die. I don't think it's just luck. We feel more comfortable to just prepare for death. It isn't that we will die any time while working. No, I have access to the breach. I can go back. Just know this. You can't go to paradise no matter what you do. I'm doing these for all of you, even the counseling campaign I am doing. Now that you mention it, compulsory counseling campaign is too much. We would rather rest instead. Why is the department the only one which has these programs? It will keep repeating itself. Live with eternal sorrow and remorse in that metal scrap. All of you have been dead by now if I didn't help you! Why aren't you thanking me? Do you want me to get rid of you, like Malkuth, even before you complain? Don't tell me I'm the bad one here! Are you finally admitting to your awful nature? Tiffany, why are you doing this to me? I'm not Tiffany. Look at me. Can you not distinguish your own voice anymore? Yes, are you still having the nightmare? I read Michelle's suicidal article while our experiment was showing some progress. Michelle was the youngest among us. She was a timid and innocent employee. It made her an easy target. Maybe it was her fate to be used as a spy of the Alert Wing, or of the Head. You didn't know it would happen. You never thought it would end us. You never believed the situation went worse than your intentions. You probably thought that what you did what you could do, that in this world there wasn't any other option. But Carmen was a person who was trying to change this world, the world you gave up to change. If we meet again in hell, will I forgive you then? Crumple it. Oh no. Oh no. So, I'll explain the Central Command Team. I'll explain what's happening next. We now can do core suppressions, I think. Right? This is gonna be fun. Fun with quotation with air quotes. Okay, so fundamental of all separate episodes aren't cleared yet. Alright. Next. Conditions of what will show up at the boss battle. If you receive boss battle mission but didn't satisfy the conditions. Okay. Click on boss battle. Alright, the employees will clear the department and the handicaps will be shown. Right. We only have one proposal left, we'll do that one. So we can do boss battles. I can't suppress Netzach yet. I think what I'm going to do first, okay. As I explained, we got boss battles coming up. Stuff might happen if I do something. If I try and do a suppression work. People are moved out of here. So this is going to be a bit of a tough one, I suppose. But I think I'll get to that later. But what happens is, I don't think anyone here melts down. But the entire department goes into lockdown. And everyone here has to move out, has to move elsewhere. Which means I could just put... Yeah, I'm going to put Lucas on the security team. Yeah, and then I have to, and I have some kind of strange conditions going on. For example, let's just say... Well, yeah. Since I have to suppress, since I have to suppress HOD, since I'm suppressing HOD here, employee skills will be going down a lot, and they'll keep on going down every time you get a meltdown. You got to survive until meltdown level 6. But yeah, that will be for the next video. Should be fun, right? I've been Styles Jane. I'll keep you in the scales in the favour of Lobotomy Corporation in the next episode. Signing off.